Today it's a happy day and a very sad day for me, and it's one of the most difficult days I'll ever do in radio because I'm leaving WFAN. I know there was a New York Post story a few hours ago that acknowledged that and announced that. That story is accurate. June 30th will be my last show on WFAN, and there's some aspects to that I want to be open about and clear about and direct about. I love Evan. It has nothing to do with Evan Roberts. It has nothing to do with anybody here. It has everything to do with me and my personal life and the opportunity that I have now via Fox Sports to do a show on Fox Sports 1. So if I can backtrack just for a moment, WFAN is family to me. WFAN is everything to me. I am a 30-plus year radio talk show host, and radio is all I've ever done well. Radio has been like a family member to me, starting all the way back in Buffalo, New York, making $12,000 a year, and going from city to city over the course of about 10 years, and then ultimately being fortunate enough to land here with Boomer back in 2007. And I love radio. It's all I've ever done, and like I said, it's all I've ever done well. So making a decision to walk away, not just from radio, but very specifically from WFAN, is not an easy decision. It wasn't when I made it. And now that that day has come where I'm acknowledging it and talking about it, it has not gotten any easier. But, I put myself, sadly, in a bad place a number of years ago. And as I look back on my life, 3 years ago to this day, I was nothing more than a number. I was known as 795-01054. And I woke up 3 years ago today in federal prison, a place that I was for a year based on bad decisions I made. And when I was that number, I dreamt about the possibility, among other things, of one day being able to restart my career. And that might have seemed silly at the time, but that dream helped me survive prison. The personal part of that dream was the potential opportunity that was never guaranteed to me to reconnect with my family. If you've ever listened to me on the radio, my kids are the most important thing in the world to me, always have been. And what many of you don't know is that when I got in trouble, and I want to be very clear, my self-inflicted trouble that led me to resign from WFAN 3 years ago, I was separated from my wife for 3 years. Literally the day after I got arrested, I did not live with my family. I did not see my children on a daily basis. I'm legally separated from my wife because of the shenanigans I was pulling 3 years ago. And as I laid in that bed as nothing more than a number, in addition to dreaming about the possibility of restarting a professional career, the real dream was, how do I rebuild my connection to the people I love the most, the people I disappointed the most, the people I let down the most? How do I ever look my kids in the eye again and say, your daddy's back? He was a knucklehead, but he's back. And those dreams powered me through prison. And when I got out of prison, I lived in a halfway house in Brooklyn. And then I was moved to a halfway house in New Jersey, still fully estranged from my family, recognizing I had a lot of make goods to start, namely with family members, with friends, people I let down. And while I was starting to do that and attempting to rebuild my life, I had a saint in my corner. And that saint, and he hates it when I use his name, but I'm going to, is a gentleman by the name of Chris Olivero. Chris and I have known each other for more than 20 years. He was my board operator at WNEW back when I did the show with Sid Rosenberg called The Sports Guys. And he has maintained his support of me as a friend and really like a brother throughout all the ups and downs of my radio career. And when I got myself in trouble, he came to visit me. And he told me something in prison that if I ever got my life back in order, if I ever really got it back in order, and had figured out why I made the bad decisions I made, that he would be there for me. No guarantees of a job, but that he would never stop being my friend. And having a guy like that as your friend, I'm the luckiest guy in the world. Because not only is he my friend, he paved the way for me to come back to WFAN. And our relationship is so tight and so unique and so special that while I am leaving WFAN from a daytime, everyday capacity, I've been here without a contract for the better part of the last 9 months. And I come to work every day because he and I shook hands. And that handshake was when we figure things out, when I figure out how I'm going to work both jobs, WFAN and Fox Sports 1, that he and I would then sit down and discuss contractual parameters. But I've been here without a contract since November 1st of last year on my word, which people are starting to value again, and on a handshake. And the fact that we're at a spot right now where I'm leaving WFAN, it is not an easy decision, but it's a decision I'm making because I want to be the best dad I can be. I hope that I reconcile with my wife, who I've been estranged from time to time, who allowed me to move back into a home that she didn't have to allow me to move back into so that my kids could rebuild a relationship with their dad. And I'm forever in her debt, although we haven't figured out all of our issues, that she's allowed me to be a dad again, an active dad again, which I take great pride in. So I'm here today, and while I'm looking forward to the future, there's an aspect of this that I'm melancholy about. When I first left WFAN, it was under much different circumstances. I was in trouble and I was going to go away. This time it's on my own volition, but it doesn't make it any easier. WFAN has meant the world to me. If WFAN didn't give me the opportunity to come back and restart a career, no joke, I'm unemployable. I wouldn't be at Fox Sports 1. I'd be working, a 9-to-5 minimum wage job. I have no other skills that I know of, to get a real job. So walking away from WFAN is not easy. But from a personal standpoint, here's my day-to-day. I wake up every day, and I want to be clear, I'm not asking for tears. I'm not asking for a pat on the back. I do what I can to repay the people I owe money to and to try to support my family. So working's my job. Working's what I'm supposed to be doing to try to start righting all the wrongs in my life. I get up at 2:30 in the morning. I'm in New York City by 4 o'clock in the morning, and I host a TV show on Fox Sports 1 from 7 to 9:30. At 11 o'clock, I come down to WFAN. I prepare a radio show with Evan. I get home at about 7:15, 7:30. I have a 20-minute dinner with my kids. I take a shower. I go to bed, rinse and repeat, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And I'm blessed to have both of these amazing opportunities. I really view myself as one of the luckiest people on the planet. 3 years ago, I was a number. Today, I have 2 amazing jobs. But the reality of having both of those jobs means that my family still suffers not having their dad around, not having potentially, fingers crossed, her husband around. And I take that seriously.